Zayin, Mishnah Aleph. So the Mishnah now continues the story of the Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur. The story so far is that he's now well into the Avodah, and he's up to the part where he's going to lane from the Sefer Torah in the Ezras Noshim. But he has to wait, as we described in the last Mishnah, the last parak, he'll have to wait until the soil has been thrown off the mountain, the soil Azazel has been thrown off. So, Bola le Kohen Gadol Likros, the Kohen Gadol now came to read. So once he had the message back that the Kohen, that he's ready, that the soil has been thrown off, then he's now ready to read from the Sefer Torah. Either the system like we described with the flags, or as we describe later, according to Rabbi Yehuda, when he got to the beginning of the Midbar, or according to the Tana Kama, that he got to the actual mountain 12 mil away. Either way, when he knows that message came through, he can now read the Sefer Torah. So, Imrotza Likros b'Big Day Lovon, b'Big Day Vutz. If he wants to read in his Big Day Vutz, which means his Big Day Lovon, which he's been wearing till now, Koreh, he is entitled to do so. V'Im Lo, and if he doesn't want to wear in those Big Day Lovon, Koreh be'itztadis Lovon Mishelo. He can wear his own regular robes, his own white robe, to lane from the Sefer Torah. And the Chiddush is here that the Kriya of the Parsha is not considered an Avodah, and therefore he doesn't have to wear any of the begodim. However, it's mutter for him to wear the Big Day Lovon, as the Mefarshim explain, because the Big Day Kuhuna nitnu lehonos. They're there for him to benefit, and therefore, if he wants to wear them in the Mikdash, even Shelo b'Shas Avodah, he is entitled to do so. Fine. Continues the Mishnah. Chazan HaKnesses. The Chazan HaKnesses is really like the Shamas of days gone by. This Lashon of Chazan is a choser to see. He sees needs as what needs to be done in the shul. So the Chazan HaKnesses, the Shamas, noitel Sefer Torah, he takes the Sefer Torah, or noitel Rosh HaKnesses, and he would give it to the Rosh HaKnesses. Now the Rosh HaKnesses is very similar to the Gabba of the Gabba in today's shul. He would be the person to see who's going to daven for the Omid, who's going to lane, and all other things that the shul would require. So the Shamas, the Chazan HaKnesses, gives it to the Rosh HaKnesses, which is the Gabba. Now, where does he take this Sefer Torah from? Where does the Chazan HaKnesses is noitel the Sefer Torah? Where from? So, interestingly, the Meiri says that he takes it from a shul which was very near the Azara in the Beis HaMikdash. There was a shul there and he took it from there. Rashi, however, in Baba Basra says that he assumes that this is the Sefer Torah which was written by Moshe Rabbeinu and kept in the Aron HaKodesh. So he would take the Sefer Torah from there. The interesting thing is that this Sefer Torah, of course, is in the Aron, which is in the Kodesh Kedoshim, which means that the Kohen Gadol would go back in, or someone he would have to go back in and get the Sefer Torah. The Rambam makes no mention of this, but the Shoshanim LeDavid explains that the Rambam might not argue with Rashi, that he may well indeed use the Sefer Torah written by Moshe Rabbeinu, which was kept in the Aron in the Kodesh Kedoshim. Why doesn't the Rambam mention this? Because the Rambam is describing the Avodah during the first and second Beis HaMikdash. The Aron was only in the Beis HaMikdash in the first Beis HaMikdash, not in the second one, and therefore, since it's not shaykh, it's not possible to take the Sefer Torah from the Aron during Bais Sheni because the Aron wasn't there, therefore the Rambam just omits this halacha. But he may well agree with Rashi that during the Bais Rishon he would take the Sefer Torah from the Kodesh Kedoshim. Okay. So the Chazan HaKnesses takes the Sefer Torah, gives it to the Rosh HaKnesses, the Shamas gives it to the Gabba, the Rosh HaKnesses knows to the Skan, he gives it to the Skan, Vaskan knows to the Kohen Gadol, and then he eventually gives it to the Kohen Gadol. And the whole point of this is to give honor to the Kohen Gadol, to show that there are many people, if you like, beneath him, and it elevates his position. The Kohen Gadol omed u'mekabel v'korev omed. The Kohen Gadol stands up, he takes the Sefer Torah, and then lanes or reads from the Sefer Torah while standing. Now, it's interesting to note that the Kohen Gadol is omed, so the Gemara infers from there that previously he was sitting. And that's a problem, because there is a well-known rule that ein yeshiva ba'azara lemalchus beis David bilvad. The only person who can sit in the Azara is a malchus beis David, it's the king. So, of course, the Kohen Gadol is not malchus beis David, because he's a Kohen, he's not from Yehuda. So the Gemara infers that therefore this must all take place in the Ezras Noshim. The whole restriction of sitting is in the Azara per se, which is further up, near the Kodesh, but not in the Ezras Noshim. So therefore, when the Mishnah began, Bola Kohen Gadol Likros, it means Bo to the Ezras Noshim. Continues the Mishnah. V'korei, so what does he actually read? V'korei, he reads Achrenus, i.e. the parsha of the Avodah of Yom Kippurim, which is in Vayikra Tezayin, Va'ach Ba'oson, the parsha which is from Emor in Vayikra Chaf Gimel. Now, even though they're only using one Sefer Torah, they're going to have to roll from Vayikra Tezayin to Vayikra Chaf Gimel. That is not a problem, even though it would perhaps involve Tirchot Tzibura. Why? Because after the Kohen Gadol reads, the Maturgaman, the translator, is going to get in there and translate. Whilst he is translating the last psukim of Vayikra Tes Zayin, they will then quickly roll it to Vayikra Chaf Gimel, so there won't be any delay. Fine. Now, straight after that, he's going to have to read a third parsha, and this parsha is from Bamidbar Chaf Tes. Now, that's going to take a long time to roll from Vayikra Chaf Gimel all the way to Bamidbar Chaf Tes. So, what happens is, Gola Sefer Torah, he actually rolls the Sefer Torah, Umanicho B'cheiko, and he holds it in his arm. In other words, they put it away. He holds on to it. Va'omer, and he says to the people, Yosem emashe korasi lifnechem kosukan. There is more than what's in this Sefer Torah that I would like to read to you. I.e., that he's trying to tell the people that the reason why I'm not learning from the Sefer is not because it's lacking, or it's not that the Sefer Torah is possible because it's not in here. Chas v'shalom, that's not the problem. But rather, the problem is I can't roll it because of Tirchot Tzibura, and therefore I need to read the third parasha, and I'm going to do it bal peh. So therefore, he reads he reads the parasha be'eser lachodesh hashvi, which is in Bamidbar Chaf Tes. Fine. So he has to make that announcement to the tzibur that people shouldn't think that there's any problem with the Sefer Torah. Now, why doesn't he just take out a second Sefer Torah? So the answer is, because again, if he takes a second Sefer Torah, people might assume there was a problem with the first Sefer Torah. Nowadays we take two Sefer Torah. But that's only when a different person reads from each Sefer. But he's the only person. And just like today, when is the problem of taking out a second Sefer? If you're reading from one parasha, and you can't sort of discard that first Sefer and bring a second Sefer, well, people will say, hey, the first Sefer Torah is possible. But if you've got a different person being called up for each Sefer, then that would be okay. But here, because the Kohen Gadol is the same person, that is not an option. Okay. Continues the Mishnah. Koire al peh. This is an exception, because the halacha is you're not allowed to read bal peh. But because there's no option, this is an exception, and he is indeed allowed to read the third parasha in Bamidbar Chaf Tes bal peh. On the reading of the Torah, shmona brachas. He makes 8 brachas, as the Mishnah now tells us. Al HaTorah, i.e. he makes the brachas HaTorah before and afterwards, like we do nowadays in Shul. Va'al ha'avodah, and he makes the bracha of Ritzei, and he finishes it off, ha'bocha ba'avodah ba'amei Yisrael b'rachamim. Then he makes the bracha of Hoda'ah, which is modim anachnu loch. And then he makes the bracha al mechilas oven, which is like a bracha of slach lanu, and it's the chasima, the ending of that bracha is mochel avonos amo Yisrael b'rachamim. Then the 5th bracha, I think, is mekadesh b'fnei atzmo, i.e. he makes the bracha of hashochin b'tzion, and then he makes the bracha al Yisrael b'fnei atzmo, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu shouldn't remove his shechina from Klal Yisrael, and he finishes that off habocha b'Yisrael. The 7th bracha is al Yushalayim, and then the final bracha, Alakanim b'fnei atzmon, shikabel Hashem karbonoseihem, and he finishes that off mekadesh hakohanim, and the final bracha is hashat tefillah, a tzechina b'akosha al Shem Yisrael, a special brakosha for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that he should listen to our supplications, and he finishes that off, Baruch Ato Hashem, Shomea Tefillah. So those are the 8 brachas which the Kohen Gadol says whilst during the laning on Yom Kippur. That is the end of Mishnah Aleph.